Hello everybody. This is a demo vid for my microprice calculator that I implemented as part of Hummingbot's second botcamp cohort. First, I'll just be describing what the microprice is and why we might care about it as a high-frequency signal. Then I'll be giving a demonstration of the script, in addition to showing how to configure it to work for other connectors. In our trading strategies, a statistic that is commonly used is the fair price, which is given the prices and sizes of the bids and asks of the order book, what is the fair price for a trading pair? Since we typically expect this value to be somewhere in the spread, a measure that is commonly used is the mid price, that is the average of the best bid and ask prices. However, a problem with the signal is that it updates relatively slowly, only whenever the prices change, and it also does not include information about the relative sizes of the bids and asks. So another signal that is commonly used is the weighted mid price, where we assign weights to the best bid and ask prices according to the imbalance, the current imbalance of the order book. So when the relative size of the bids is high, then the weight of the best ask price is high, and vice versa. However, the signal also has some issues. First, it tends to be pretty noisy since it changes with every change in the imbalance. And there's also not a good theoretical justification to use it as the fair price, since it is not necessarily a martingale, and it also possesses some other undesirable characteristics. This all brings us to the microprice, which is defined as the limit of a sequence of expected mid-prices of the future. The microprice can be expressed as a simple adjustment to the mid-price. So computing the microprice consists of computing the adjustments across some number of imbalance buckets from historical data, then adding those adjustments back to the mid-price given the current spread and the current imbalance of the order book. Some advantages of this as a signal is that it is a martingale by construction, it is relatively quick to compute, and it takes into account the current spread and imbalance information of the order book. Additionally, in the paper where it's described by Sasha Stoikov, it is shown empirically to be a better predictor of price movements than the weighted mid-price or mid-price. To demonstrate the script, I'm just going to run it here. And once all the connectors are ready, we can call status live, which displays a bunch of information here. Up here is information about the connector that it is currently pulling data from. Here is the adjusted mid-price. Here is the actual mid-price. And here, the adjusted mid-price is shown relative to the best bid and the best ask. And below that, the imbalance is shown, which updates every tick. And in addition to some more information about where the data is being pulled from and the current spread of the order book. If you will notice, the adjusted mid-price is -1, and that is because on start, it does not have any data to compute the adjustments from. Typically, a data set of around 10,000 seems to work best, and the script by default will search for a data set of around that size in the data directory, and if it doesn't find one, then it will create a new CSV and just begin recording, which it is doing right now. So rather than waiting for 5 hours, I will be copying in some data that I had recorded previously, and then starting this again. And so now when we run the script, it should be able to find the CSV in the data folder, and it will compute this new thing, G star, which are all the adjustments. So over here are the different imbalance buckets. There are 6 of them, and for each of these buckets, there is a different adjustment value that is computed for each of them. And so the script will look at the current imbalance of the order book, find which bucket it's in, and then add that adjustment to the mid-price. And you can see here that the mid-price is moving with changes to the mid-price. It's also moving to changes to the imbalance. And the spread doesn't typically change. Most of the time it's 1 tick, but sometimes trading pairs can have other tick sizes that it will compute adjustments for. And finally, to configure the connector that the script is pulling data from, all you would have to do is just change these two values and then rerun the script. Although, of course, if there is no data to be found, it will have to record data. But that is it. I would like to thank Fed for mentoring me through this project, and also Michelle for allowing me to participate in BotCamp as part of a scholarship. But in any case, thank you very much for watching, and hope you have a nice day.